Hello, I'm Evan. I'm the director at Nala Africa Tours and Safaris, and we recently returned from a fantastic trip to the Greater Kruger National Park, where we were viewing a few lodges to add to our portfolio, as well as working with a blogger and content creator, influencer, whatever you want to call her, Be Adventurous. I will put her links in the description of the video so you can check her out, but she is an incredible storyteller. So we partnered up with her and off we went to the Greater Kruger, where we needed to view a few lodges, and we thought we'd work together with B to promote lodges in the area. It is our favorite area in South Africa, and yeah, we saw three phenomenal places, and we're just excited to share what we saw with you. So in this video, I'll be going through the three places we stayed at. They were all in the Greater Kruger National Park, and the first place we went to was a town called Hoedspruit. And Hoedspruit has a wildlife estate called Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate, and we stayed at a villa, lodge, B&B, whatever you want to call it, in Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate called Ubuntu Luxury Villa. So Ubuntu Luxury Villa was the first place we stayed at. We stayed there for 4 nights. Unbelievable trip. After that, we went into the Timbavati Game Reserve, where we stayed at Tanda, Tula safari camp. And then after that, we went to Thornybush Game Reserve, where we stayed at Shimungwe Game Lodge. All three hugely impressive. We were just so impressed by all three of them. All three were very different too, which is fantastic because we do like to offer our guests a variety of options, obviously. So yeah, fantastic to see all three of these places. So let's start with Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate, and that is Ubuntu Luxury Villa. It was an action-packed trip, is what I can say. Let's start with the villa itself. The villa was just so well equipped. You have everything you need there, absolutely everything you need. It's also beautifully decorated, kind of like a modern African atmosphere or look, and quite luxurious, heated swimming pool on the deck, 3 bedrooms, all en suite. 2 of them have outdoor showers, which are lovely, and it is winter at the moment, and we still enjoyed them. So yeah, the outdoor showers are always a guest favorite. What we really loved about it is you get little animal visitors coming to the villa all day long. So if you're sitting on the deck, reading a book, doing whatever you're doing there, you'll get a duiker that will come in, have a little drink from the water hole, which is more of a water bowl. Warthog family will come in, water buck, you never really know, giraffe might come in, zebra. There's mostly plains game in the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate, which means non-dangerous animals, so you can cycle and walk around, which is really a huge appeal about the estate, I think. That you can enjoy the wildlife on foot, and you just have the freedom to walk around to the water holes and on the trails and cycle and just enjoy being in nature, out there on foot, not on a vehicle. But there is a lot of leopard activity, especially during the evenings. Apparently there are about 8 leopards whose territory overlap the Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate, and they do come in and go out. So it's advised not to walk around in the evening. But I think it just adds to the excitement of the place, to be honest. We really enjoyed that aspect of it. We somehow missed every leopard sighting there was this trip. They seem to be around every single corner, but that's how it is in the bush sometimes. Sometimes you just not in the right place at the right time. After I did promise be multiple leopard sightings, because the Greater Kruger is pretty much the place to be for leopards. So yeah, Murphy's Law. But there was a leopard apparently rasping outside the villa on one of the nights we were there, but we were out in town having a meal in town, so we missed it, and that was kind of set the tone for the whole trip, missing leopards. But it does add a bit of excitement. There are also some hyenas in the estate, but beautiful estate. I mean, we were just so impressed too. Also that the town itself is just well developed, amazing restaurants, high quality shops, everything you can ask for. There's a private hospital that's almost being finished being built. There's schools, there's a market on some Saturdays. It's like kind of like a very vibey town itself. So you've got the best of both worlds in that you can live in the bush or stay in the bush on a holiday, but have access to this town that's right there and have every convenience you need. So yeah, we found that to be very appealing too. And yeah, the one other point I wanted to mention about Hoedspruit, not Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate, the villa itself, Ubuntu Luxury Villa, is the owners, Anouk and Dennis. They are from Holland, and they have just put their heart and soul into this place, and it really shows. It is, yeah, I think it makes such a huge difference, what the owners put into a place. They care deeply about this villa and deeply about every single guest's experience there. You can go on their website and check out the reviews. They speak for themselves, really. Guests just rave about this place, and rightly so. It is phenomenal. I can't express it enough. It's hard to describe, but they will go over and above for every single guest to make their stay as perfect as possible. So go and check out Ubuntu Luxury Villa. What we did there was we had an action-packed itinerary. We actually needed a few more days to just relax at the villa, enjoy the relaxing side of it, I think, and just watch animals as they came in for a drink and that kind of thing. But we did have a massage on the deck, highly recommended. That was so tranquil, felt like a different person after that. We did Blyde River Canyon tour, which was hugely impressive. The views, it's just views after views after views. Your camera's going to be full after that one. You can do a full day tour, Blyde River Canyon, unbelievable. We did the boat tour on the Blyde River, which is seeing it from a different perspective, which was just, it was hugely impressive as well. When we were out there, it was just wow after wow, like almost like speechless. You're just like, wow, you can't believe what you're seeing. So anything to do with the Blyde River Canyon, that is a definite go-to. You can also do horse rides. We didn't do the horse rides on the estate, so horse riding with wildlife, pretty cool. We did the elephant interaction with herd, that is in Kapama Reserve, and brilliant, absolutely brilliant. We don't usually condone any kind of animal-human interaction, wild animal-human interaction. You don't want to ever exploit the wild animals. But the story at Herd is just a very happy story of elephants that were saved, and they have every intention of trying to rewild an elephant if they do save it. And if they can't, all the elephants do is they spend 20 minutes. There's only 3 elephants that have human interaction, and all they'll do is spend 20 minutes in the beginning of the day getting fed by people and obviously taking a few photos and that kind of thing. Other than that, they are with the herd. They've got carers that love them deeply, and they live a really, really good life. They're very happy elephants. So, we would love every animal to be wild, but with humans and animals having to coexist. This is something that does happen, and this is as good a place as you can imagine an elephant to land up in if it can't be in the wild. So, thumbs up for that elephant interaction. I think it's called Elephant Moments at Herd. Brilliant. On your drive-in, the guests that stayed at Ubuntu Luxury Villa after us saw a leopard and lions on their drive-in to do the elephant interactions. Unbelievable. But it's just what an experience. Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate, Ubuntu Luxury Villa, the town of Hoedspruit itself, and the whole area where you've got the Blyde River Canyon and everything. There's so much to do. You can spend a month there and be busy every day, or relax, enjoy the wildlife. We did game drives into Kaya Ndlovu, with Kaya Ndlovu, into Hoedspruit Reserve, which was brilliant as well. You've got big 5 reserves very close to the villa also. One of them is open to the Kruger National Park, so you could really see anything. That's as wild as it gets. And we also did a game drive with Safari Reinhardt, which was what a brilliant guide, very informative, nice calming demeanor. And loved our game drive with him into Pride Lands, which is right. I mean, it's like 5 minute drive from Ubuntu Luxury Villa. They'll pick you up at the villa. 5 minutes, you're in Greater Kruger. No fences between this reserve and Kruger. And yeah, I think probably the highlight was really nice elephant sightings, but also following a hyena that was on a scent. Just dead on a scent, following him and just watching what he was getting up to, hoping that he was leading us to a leopard, but to no avail, but very entertaining nonetheless. So that's Ubuntu Luxury Villa. I mean, I could talk for days about Ubuntu Luxury Villa. There was just so much that we did. But I mean, go check it out for yourself. You'll love it. You'll love. I think this is the crux of it. This is a great option for people that come to South Africa. They want to do a safari, but they also want to explore a bit of South Africa, a bit of something else besides safari. So the all-inclusive lodges get you into a routine of, game drive, breakfast, the day to do, spa or relax by the pool or whatever, lunch, afternoon tea, afternoon game drive, dinner, and then the day repeats itself like that. And this is a very good opportunity to fill up your day as you please. Take slow travel if you want, or rather an action-packed trip, and explore some South African towns, some South African culture, some other things besides safari, like the Blyde River Canyon. So that's what it's a really good option for people that want a little bit more than safari when they're coming to South Africa. So that's Ubuntu Luxury Villa. The next on our agenda, we spent 4 nights at Ubuntu Luxury Villa. The next on our agenda was Tanda, Tula in Timbavati Game Reserve, which this was the ultra luxe option of our trip. It's 25,000 Rand per person per night at the moment. So your expectations are quite high, obviously, going into a lodge like that. And to be honest, our expectations were met, and I think myself and B, we kind of feel a little bit out of place in a luxurious lodge like that, because when we go on holiday, that's not where we stay. So you kind of feel a little bit out of place. Maybe it's going to be a little bit too posh, or maybe there's going to be that disconnect, where it doesn't feel very homely, or you know what I mean? There's not that like connection, that homely feel, that warmth. But the good news is Tanda Tula really did come with those things on top of being an ultra luxe, modern, almost like pioneering in their design lodge. It was so beautiful. Absolutely. The suites were designed, they told us, so that if guests would like to spend a whole day in their suites, they would do it so very, very comfortably. You've got a private heated plunge pool, a big deck with a little nook where you could also relax. You got a huge room, hugely spacious, just such comfortable beds, living room. There's loads of books. There's even games for you to play. There's a very well-stocked minibar, and I say minibar, but it's not even mini bottles. It's a big bottle of gin, and drinks are on the house at that price. And really, for me, I'm a coffee lover. Really great coffee machine that's grinding beans and making you coffee. That was a huge thumbs up from me. You just literally press a button and it's grinding beans and pouring your coffee for you in the morning. So I was so happy with that. And to be honest, possibly the most impressive part was the bathroom. Almost like a jade color marbling on the wall. So beautiful. I mean, really striking. Huge tub, obviously, with views. Outdoor shower, which is, I mean, it's a given at that price point. Indoor shower, outdoor shower. Yeah, pretty much very spacious, very beautiful, very romantic too. And obviously the suites, very private, far away from each other. They're a canvas and glass hybrid design. So it's kind of like a glamping tent, but all the glass in front, you can kind of open up. So when you're sleeping in your bed, you can open it all up, and you can also automatically pull down like a mosquito net screen in front, so you're not bothered by mosquitoes or anything getting in at night. So you can still feel safe and comfortable, but with some fresh air coming in and the sounds of the bush whilst you're sleeping. I heard lions and hippos whilst we were there, which was always nice, where you're just lying in bed listening to wildlife. Did get a bit chilly. It is winter, but you come back to a fire going in your room after dinner. So that heats things up a bit. But when that fire died down in the middle of the night, it did get a bit fresh, but top quality bedding, so you're still warm in your bed. Turn down service was just so beautiful, so romantic, very romantic lodge, I must say. And then one of their strong points, I'd say, is their food. And they have won recently for 2024. They won the second best safari cuisine in Africa, and you can really see why. I mean, the chef was phenomenal, quite a storyteller too. He presented the meals, and it was an experience every time we ate. It was just like, I mean, it's food that even if we weren't taking content, you would want to take photos of this food and videos just to show people how amazing this food looks. And the taste didn't disappoint too. So food, absolutely. If you're a foodie, I mean, if you're a romantic, or if you're on a honeymoon and you're a foodie, I mean, this is the lodge for you. It's like, it doesn't get much better than this. And then one other thing to mention with Tanda Tula, which was probably the most impressive, because it's kind of like wildlife first for me personally. So what we like to suit lodges to what our guests' needs are. Some guests prefer a bit of luxury, not too bothered by what wildlife they're going to see, or, for me personally, I'm a huge wildlife fan. I'm happy to sleep by a fire, not even pitch a tent, just sleep by a fire, and don't even need accommodation as long as I'm in a good wildlife area. I'm happy. So the drives are always very interesting for me, and although we didn't see much in terms of big cats, I mean, you can see everything on a given day, you can see nothing on a given day, so nothing's guaranteed. But I was just hugely impressed by their ethics on drive, which is obviously just such an important thing to consider. And it's also why you should talk to someone or do your research before coming to South Africa. To research, it's hard to research. So basically, come to someone like me, ask for help, ask what are the drives like in this area or at this game lodge in terms of ethics, in terms of, conserving these animals. Because, you can tell on drive, there was no hurry to get from sighting to sighting, and there was never going to be an issue with too many vehicles at a sighting. In this area, you're actually not allowed more than 3 vehicles at a sighting, I don't think. Unless it's a huge herd of buffalo or something, they might even be 4 at a sighting. I don't actually think so. I think it's only 3 vehicles at a sighting. More sensitive sightings, only 2 vehicles at a sighting. So you're never going to be filled up with other vehicles. But, we realized that the ethics were strong when there was a call in about a leopard that was on a kill. And now, we've informed our guide that we want to see a leopard. We are desperate to see a leopard. We want to see, big cats. And he's obviously under a bit of pressure to show his guests what they want to see. But when learning that, I mean, it was getting dark. There were hyenas in the area the leopard was in, and this leopard hadn't treated its kill yet. So it's pretty much standard that you'd have to call that sighting off. You don't want vehicles to bring attention to this leopard before it's treed the kill, because the hyenas might come in and grab the kill. So it's kind of like there's a bit of human intervention there, because it's attracted the hyenas to the kill. So we called off that sighting, and although disappointing not to see a leopard, 10 points for Tanda Tula. That ethics come first. Respect for the wildlife comes first. So that kind of set the tone for all the game drives at Tanda Tula. Our guide, Ginger, fantastic guide, very informative. We tracked lions, we tracked leopards, we saw loads of elephants. This trip was an elephant trip. You often go on a safari and there's one animal that just you cannot not see on the trip. And this trip was an elephant trip for sure. There was just elephants everywhere. Yeah. So I think that's about it for Tanda Tula. I mean, really top draw stuff. At that price point you expect it, but it came with a very warm and personal approach as well. The guides know all the guests by name. We stayed one night at Tanda Tula. You feel like you're going to miss your guide, you're going to miss the other rangers, you're going to miss the hostess, when you leave. And I mean, you've known these people for one day, basically. So that's the kind of service they have there. First name basis. Everyone really makes an effort to get to know you properly. You sit at dinner together, you share stories, you get to know each other. Yeah, fantastic. We had a bush breakfast the one day, which is phenomenal too, just to mention. But anyways, check out Tanda Tula if you're looking for that kind of romantic, ultra luxe safari experience. Brilliant. You really can't go wrong with them. And then the last trip we did, the last lodge we saw, was Shimungwe Lodge in Thornybush Game Reserve. And again, well, when we walked in, as soon as we walked in, we just felt a very warm, homely atmosphere. The hosts, the hostesses, obviously very warm and welcoming. They happy you there. You get a little a welcome drink, which is also standard at these lodges. But you walk in and it's just this stunning outlook. Light filtering through the trees. You're looking over a dry riverbed. And as we walked in, there was a big elephant bull just walking slowly in the riverbed. And what a warm welcome, eh? We really couldn't have scripted a better welcome than that. And yeah, it just kind of got better from there. Shimungwe, I'd say it's a 4-star lodge. I think the price point's at about, I'm stand corrected, but about 9,000 rand per person per night. And yeah, the difference here was this was actually a private holiday home that has now been commercialized and converted into a lodge, which gives it that homely atmosphere. And we fell in love with it immediately. It's so intimate, so there's not as many staff. So I mean, you really get to know the staff. There was a honeymoon couple with us. They had the place for themselves for a couple of days. I mean, imagine that. On your honeymoon in Africa for the first time from the States, and you've got this beautiful lodge to yourself. And yeah, it was just such a stunning place, beautiful location. And then what we really enjoyed, and of course myself really enjoyed, was the wildlife. The wildlife in Thornybush was the most impressive during our trip. It was phenomenal. We drove our first sighting before an antelope was 3 of the black dam males that we bumped into. They were, as lions do, a lot during the day, just sleeping. So we didn't stick around with them too much. I mean, they really hardly move during the day sometimes, but really nice, close sighting. Our guide told us about them, and from there we saw wild dogs, which was Bee's first wild dogs that she has seen in the wild. So that was very exciting. And obviously, as usual, lots of elephants and hippos, beautiful rhino sighting at sunset the first day. And the most exciting game drive of the trip for me personally was our last morning game drive. Oof, there's a monkey approaching the lodge here, so just keep an eye on him in case he's climbing through a window to steal something. Our last game drive was tracking lions. They kind of knew in which area, these areas are massive though, in which area the lions might be. They thought they might be tailing a herd of buffalo, but we were just going to go find them. It took us 2.5 hours to find these lions, but it was so impressive watching the guide and tracker, Lucan and Daniel, who have been there for over 20 years in the same area. So they are masters. They are the legends of the Thornybush, these two. And it was just so interesting, and learning from them and watching them track down these lions on the road, crossing over from block to block through the bushes. And we eventually caught up with the buffalo herd. And from the buffalo's behavior, they could tell exactly where they knew the lions were. And we went in that direction, found the lions. So after 2.5 hours of tracking these lions, we actually found them. And just kind of followed them for a bit. And what they do when they're tailing buffalo is they kind of get up and move with the herd a little bit, and they'll lie down for a bit. And when the buffalo move off a bit too much, they'll get up again and move. So we just followed them for a bit. But yeah, just a lovely style of game drive. And that's when your tracker and your guide can really make a huge difference, because it's a different style of game drive. Sometimes a game drive will be, guards can call each other. You go from sighting to sighting. There's a leopard here, you go there. There's a cheetah here, there's a lion here, and you just hit up the sightings one after each other. But this was, just it felt very immersive, and you kind of appreciate it so much more because you feel like you also put in a bit of work tracking these lions all day, and you eventually come right and find them. So, and just so interesting to watch these people, masters at work, tracking down these lions and learning from them. So Shimungwe, just really top points for wildlife, especially. We tracked a leopard. I think we got really close. It was sunset. We saw a hyena that looked like it was also on a scent where we were tracking the leopard, where we kind of knew where it was. So I think we just missed that leopard, as usual, as is our luck. But we saw, multiple lion sightings. Only had 2 drives, multiple lion sightings, all the rest of the general game. Elephants outside our room the one night, which was always a bit exciting. Lions roaring early morning as you wake up. Just such a beautiful sound to hear first thing in the morning. So Shimungwe, obviously stamp of approval from us. And I think the nice thing is all these places were so different. Ubuntu Luxury Villa and Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate, that is, safari and more. The convenience of a town right there, exploring South Africa and other activities in the area, and also with some luxury and wildlife and safari. And then Tanda, Tula, just top drawer, ultra luxe. If you've got the cash, go for it. Romantic, private, exclusive, really, any amenity you can imagine in your room. Just, luxury on safari, which is, no one's ever going to really complain about. And for foodies, for sure, and then Shimungwe, much more warm, cozy, homely atmosphere. Only a few of you sitting around the fire. There's only 4 rooms at Shimungwe, so total 8 guests in camp. So there's a few of you around the fire sharing stories in the evening. They cook for you, very homely, hearty meals, I'd say, at Shimungwe. Very intimate, and just a very beautiful and intimate camp too. So also in terms of value for money, I'd say, good value for money there at Shimungwe. It's hard to say at 25k for Tanda Tula. Value for money, if you have the money, go for it. You will get your value for the money if you have that money. I'll say that. And then Ubuntu Luxury Villa, it may be a little bit more expensive than other, Airbnbs in the estate, but I almost guarantee they don't have owners like Ubuntu Luxury Villa that will go the extra mile for their guests. Like, they will organize absolutely everything for you. And we will too, now that we are working together with them. They will organize a whole itinerary for you. They'll make sure you've got everything you need. B actually lost her, or she didn't lose her luggage. Her luggage didn't arrive with her in South Africa. And on hearing this, Ubuntu Luxury Villa's owners, Dennis and Anouk, phoned her and asked her if she'd like for them to go to the shops and buy her some essentials to tide her over until her luggage reached her. So, they went to the shop and bought her, toothbrushes, some clothes. They lent her their jackets for the game drives. So, that kind of thing, that kind of personal attention, especially when people are hesitant to come to South Africa. You hear stories, it's your first time here. If you want that feeling of being properly safe, like totally safe, and there's someone that's got your back, they're going to make sure you got everything you need and you're 100% safe in South Africa. You can't go with anyone else if you're going to stay in Hoedspruit Wildlife Estate. They are too good. I can't say enough good things about Dennis and Anouk from Ubuntu Luxury Villa. So all 3 of these places, we are stamp of approval, added to portfolio. We were highly impressed. And at the moment we are on a family holiday actually in Salati, and tomorrow I'm going to go view a few more lodges, so hopefully I will have some info on them for you soon. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the kind of review, I guess, on these lodges. And yeah, if you need any help coming to South Africa for a safari, please contact us, and yeah, we'll be very, very happy to help you. Our forte is just suiting lodges to our guests' needs. You don't want to be a romantic, you don't want to be on a honeymoon at a family-friendly camp, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think that's it. Reach out if you need help. We can also organize all your transfers, everything you need. So you can arrive in South Africa and everything's taken care of. So yeah, reach out if you need recommendations, or if you want us to help plan your safari, or you're just dreaming and you've got some questions. Yeah, we're happy to help, happy to even chat. Yeah, until next time, yeah, enjoy yourselves, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you this side sooner rather than later. Cheers.